Good evening, viewers, and welcome to the news. First, the headlines. Meghalaya BJP flags trust deficit on illegal coal mining, backs ILP and rail connectivity. Meghalaya Asha workers to suspend services from January 8th. Statewide protest over pending incentives. Assam Chief Minister flags Bangladesh situation as serious concern, warns of jihadi presence, sleeper cells in Assam. "26 Naxalites surrender in Sukma under rehab drive. 65 lakh reward cadres lay down arms in Chhattisgarh. And Indian Super League to kick off on February 14th. All 14 clubs return as AIFF clears league restart. The news in detail. But first, we'll start with the local news. Meghalaya BJP spokesperson Mariahom Kharkrang has accused the state government of eroding public trust by repeatedly denying the existence of illegal coal mining. Citing a recent blast incident that was initially denied but later confirmed, he said such contradictions hurt the government's credibility. Kharkrang said the Justice B.P. Kataki Committee's findings contradict official claims and urged the government to stop denial, ensure transparency and take strict action against those funding and controlling illegal mining operations.
The people who are working the coal mines, they are just workers. The onus is not on them. The onus is on the people who have hired them, who are the big people. And I think so. The government, you see, the thing is, it's an open secret that illegal mining is going on, and the government should come forward and indicate what are the concrete steps. Just because you can register hundreds and hundreds of cases also. That will not help. Many a times what you see, register a case. Okay, register a case. What do you do with the case? Does it come to its conclusion? Logical conclusion. That is what is important. You can register hundreds of cases. How does it matter? You see, by registering such cases, it should be to discourage, subsequent unmined people who would want to do illegal mining. It has to discourage them. Now, if it doesn't discourage them, then how does it help?
Reacting to the inner line permit issue, Meghalaya BJP spokesperson Mariahom Kharkrang said the state government has urged the centre to implement ILP to check illegal settlers. He said consultations with stakeholders are underway and appealed to NGOs to engage in dialogue for consensus. On rail connectivity, Kharkrang warned that denying railway projects could hurt Meghalaya's future economic growth, citing high transport costs and rising prices in Shillong. He stressed the need for safeguards, alternative transport options, and unity to secure long-term benefits for future generations.
I would like to urge the NGOs or the stakeholders not come forward and speak out with the government, talk with the government. There may be some problems which the government will not be able to, meet their demands now. So at least be gracious enough and meet with the government and talk with the government. A lot of things can be settled by negotiating. Now we cannot be so adamant and say that this or nothing else. So I think so somewhere the line we have to draw a middle line and come to a meeting ground, because ultimately I just have one thing to say. Ultimately, if railways don't come to our state, we are the ones who will be losing out. Our future generation, 30, 40 years from now, will curse us that we have not brought in railways. Because whatever said and done, railways can bring a lot of economic development to our state.
The Meghalaya Asha Workers Union today announced a statewide suspension of services by Asha workers from January 8, demanding clearance of long-pending incentives. Addressing the media, union advisor Soni Kharjana said, a letter has been submitted to the NHM mission director warning that work will not resume until all dues are paid. She said months-long delays have severely affected the functioning of Asha workers. The union stated that over 7,000 Asha workers across the state are affected and the strike will continue until the government and the health department takes concrete action to resolve their grievances.
Being deleted of the payment incentive to the Asha on behalf of the union itself, means on behalf of the states, Meghalaya Asha Workers Union, we have already taken the decision that will take, because after the deadline, after we giving the deadline on the 19th of December, until unless that they pay the incentive to the Asha, we have already taken the decision that will do the suspension. Like what I mean to say is that we just take a rest for a while. I mean, until unless that the government will pay the incentive to the Asha to the whole states, then we have already decided that we will not take any, we will not go for work, we will not do any incentives, either with the activities or the paperwork. That is the information to all the states of the Asha.
NEIGRIHMS Shillong continues to grapple with manpower shortages due to poor response to faculty vacancies, Director Professor Dr. Nalin Mehta said. He noted that while recent recruitment has eased the situation, full staffing is yet to be achieved, with some departments receiving no applications. Nursing recruitment remains stalled amid opposition from pressure groups. Addressing concerns of a parliamentary panel, Professor Mehta clarified that the critical care block is over 80% complete and is expected to be operational within 4 to 5 months.
As of today, our physical progress of the project is over 80%. I mean, 80% is the financial progress and the physical progress is even more. Meaning thereby that within the next couple of months, the critical care block will be completed. And while the physical structure is coming up, equipment has already been procured. A lot of equipment for the critical care block as well as the furniture has already been procured. Some of it is also arriving, and as and how the building keeps coming up phase-wise, we are also furnishing it. Equipment will move into the block as and how the various levels are ready. So I hope to see this operational within the next 4 to 5 months. We have a shortage of manpower, and that is a fact. The shortage was a little more acute a couple of months back. Then we had recruitment processes that we undertook, interviews. A few new faculty members have joined. Our nursing recruitment is on hold because, as you are aware, earlier there was a proposal for recruitment, then there was opposition from a few local pressure groups, and then we had a meeting with the minister, and it was decided that it would be a matter that would go right up to the governing council. So we are awaiting those meetings. So once that is done, we will take the recruitment for nurses forward. Otherwise, in terms of faculty, we are deficient, but day by day our position is improving.
Police in southwest Garo Hills recovered 55 suspected live anti-aircraft ammunition during a search operation near Santogre village. Acting on a tip-off, a joint team from Salmanpara and Ampati police stations unearthed a cache from a bamboo grove. The ammunition was seized following due legal procedure, and investigation is underway to trace its source. Police have urged the public to share information on unlawful activities, assuring confidentiality and rewards.
Santogre village. So we were having some reliable information that some of the ammunition, some of the old ammunition is buried near Santogre village. So from Ampati and Salmanpara police stations, we have formed 2 teams. They have searched that area, and finally we have found 55 number of ammunition near this bamboo grove of Santogre village. So those 55 ammunition were of anti-aircraft guns. Right now we cannot ascertain what kind of ammunition were there, but total 55 numbers of ammunition we have found. From the Southwest Garo Hills DEF, I just want to tell all the villagers and everyone, if they have any information regarding all these activities or any information related to the old ammunition, they can come to us, they can inform us, we'll give them fair reward.
The Ribhoi Tourism and Environmental Development Forum has cautioned the public against environmental destruction as the dry season begins. Speaking to the media today, RBTEDF President Plilad Tuso expressed concern over rising incidents of forest fires, wildlife hunting and poisoning of rivers to kill fish. The forum appealed to village leaders, civil society and the public to work together to stop such activities, warning that offenders will be reported to the Forest and Wildlife Departments and handed over to law enforcement if caught.
Jungi bat ako Ribhoi district jungi kumwe ni kinongelam naka seng ke bangitip kung Ribhoi Tourism and Environmental Development Forum. Kajingkwa ban pensngo pajba lo nakaleng joko nika forum ke jungi sa pajba nong song jong kabri nyotret bat hamtam ko nika district ke jungi kalong ba ngidei ban penne ya kamariang kalong ka badon kam hado kata ngidon kam ubriu iben kimarap ngidon kam ban yo e ko bandi ban bam ban mangi ubriu hamtam lile ngi iba hapo ke district ke jungi bat hapo ke jelai as a whole ki brio kilastang ban pensneu ya ka mariang kilum kiwa ngi kilasalen kideng kibahe kilapom bat sisa kalalong kejengdo nong ka bakrao bat kimarat ki basyong ha ki klau ro kimdan syo bat ka ba ngi kedon ka jingma ha.
The Office of the Civil Defence, Mairang, Eastern West Khasi Hills District today organised a 3-day civil defence training programme for local youth. Inspector of Civil Defence, Skembor Siemyong, conducted an awareness session while civil defence personnel provided hands-on training in first aid, safety measures and search and rescue operations. Participants were trained to assist accident and disaster victims and to set up relief camps during natural calamities or conflict situations. The program aims to equip youth with essential skills for self-protection and emergency response.
Mereka sendiri baca dengan suha penyerap para mungkin keluarga jaga itu instruction mana. Tekum juru ini hari India tu dari Portma ni bagawan dengan konsep mah. Dari Portma jung asnem dari sebab untuk hari mah keluarga kadang kadang India bersai ke Pakistan. Untuk keluarga tidak semua tu di badan kami yang mereka organisasi yang baca. Hadir pada kenespan urusan kadang biasa cuma besar ya kan China dan itu kalau ada skema susu dengan government bahwa India juga dengan civil defense dan kita tahu au kendai span kubra di belum senang dekat air national senang dekat air dapat ke civil defense act kendai span kubra dan itu skema senang tinggal atas tim juga di menjalankan civil defense organization gitu. Kalau di organisasi jadi pada iban Raymond Suha mak penyerap keluarga senjata.
And now let us move on to some news from the northeastern region. Amid rising attacks on minorities in neighbouring Bangladesh, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma said the worsening situation across the border is a serious concern for Assam. The Chief Minister stated that the presence of jihadi elements in Assam has been established over the past decade and warned that sleeper cells may still be in hiding. He said such developments pose ongoing security challenges and remain a matter of grave concern for the state.
असम में भी हो सकता है। बांग्लादेश में जो हो रहा है हमारे लिए चिंता की कारण बना हुआ है। हिंदू लोगों का ऊपर अत्याचार दिन का दिन बढ़ ही रहा है, तो स्थिति चिंतनीय है और उनका इफेक्ट असम में भी हो सकता है। तो हमें थोड़ा एक हिसाब से थोड़ा सा कोशिश रहना पड़ेगा, स्थिति को निरीक्षण में रखना पड़ेगा और एक बांग्लादेश का हिंदू समाज को हमें साहस भी देना पड़ेगा। देखिए जिहादी असम में है ही और इसका प्रूफ लास्ट 10 साल से हम लोग को बार बार मिल रहा हूँ। अभी भी कोई होगा जो छुपा हुआ होगा, स्लीपर सेल में होगा, तो इसीलिए ये सारे बात चिंता की कारण है। असम की सुरक्षा हमेशा एक चिंता का बात है और होते रहेगा जब तक स्थिति पूरा जियोपॉलिटिकल स्थिति का इम्प्रूवमेंट नहीं आएगा।
The Vishwa Hindu Parishad staged a protest at the Ragna checkpost in northern Tripura demanding an immediate suspension of border trade with Bangladesh over the killing of Hindus in Bangladesh. Demonstrators called for a complete stop to trade and exports as the security forces maintain tight vigil. The protest comes amid reports of rising violence against minorities in Bangladesh, with several Hindu businessmen killed in recent weeks, triggering concern across the northeast and beyond. And now let's move on to some national news. In a major boost to anti-Naxal operations, 26 Maoist cadres surrendered today in Sukma district of Chhattisgarh, including 13 carrying a collective bounty of Rs 65 lakh. Superintendent of Police Kiran Chavan said the surrender took place before senior police and CRPF officials under the Pune Margam Rehabilitation Initiative. The group, including 7 women, was active across Bastar and adjoining Odisha regions. The cadres cited disillusionment with violence and were influenced by the state's surrender policy. Each surrendered Naxalite was given Rs 50,000 as immediate assistance and will be rehabilitated as per government norms.
और छत्तीसगढ़ शासन की आत्मसमर्पण एवं पुनर्वास नीति से प्रभावित होकर तथा जो जिला धमतरी पुलिस द्वारा लगातार पोस्टर, बैनर एवं पाम्पलेट के माध्यम से छत्तीसगढ़ शासन की पुनर्वास नीति का प्रचार प्रसार किया जा रहा था और नक्सलियों से आत्मसमर्पण करने की अपील की जा रही थी, जिससे प्रभावित होकर 5 लाख की इनामी महिला नक्सली भूमिका और गीता ने आज दिनांक 6 जनवरी 2026 को पुलिस अधीक्षक महोदय के समक्ष आत्मसमर्पण किया और वो 5 लाख की इनामी नक्सली थी। साथ में 303 राइफल पकड़ती थी, नक्सल संगठन में जिस समय थी और वो शासन की नीतियों से प्रभावित हुई, साथ ही नक्सलियों के भेदभाव पूर्ण व्यवहार से क्षुब्ध होकर जिला धमतरी पुलिस के समक्ष आत्मसमर्पण किया है।
Delhi police have detained 5 people and registered an FIR in connection with the stone pelting incident that occurred during a demolition drive in Old Delhi. Talking to the media, Deputy Commissioner of Police Nidhin Valsand said that the demolition was carried out by the Delhi Municipal Corporation in pursuance of the directions of the Delhi High Court. He said 5 police personnel have been injured in the incident. He said the FIR is filed under sections related to rioting, assault on a government servant, and obstruction to a public servant in performing their duty.
then MCD told कि we'll go at the demolition. तो हम लोग इधर आने के बाद 150 के आसपास लोग इधर इकट्ठा हुए. Majority of the people were just curious to know like what is happening. तो हम लोग उनको बता दिया कि आप लोग इधर से चले जाओ, ये कानून की कोर्ट की ऑर्डर है, कोर्ट की ऑर्डर भी दिखाए. तो majority of the people वहाँ से चले गया. 25-30 लोग जो थे उस जो स्ट्रीट है वहाँ स्ट्रीट से भी इन्होंने पुलिस के ऊपर पत्थर मार दिए. उसका वीडियोस भी अभी सोशल मीडिया में है, अगर आपको नहीं मिला तो मैं भेज दूंगा. ठीक है. उसके बाद पुलिस को रिटेलिएशन में वी हैड टू यूज फोर्स. उसमें एक्चुअली फोर्स को यूज करके हमने उनको पुश किया. पुश करने के बाद उनको वहां से पुश करने के बाद वी स्टार्टेड द डेमोलिशन. सर इस प्रोसेस में जब पत्थर फेंका, उस पत्थर फेंकने के प्रोसेस में 5 पुलिसकर्मी इंजर्ड है और इनको हॉस्पिटल में लेके गया एंड देयर इंजरीज आर माइनर इन नेचर.
And on to some international news now. Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, has announced a 7-day period of national mourning following a U.S. military operation in Caracas last weekend. Venezuelan government has confirmed the death toll during the operation to at least 56, including 32 Cuban military and police personnel working in Venezuela. Rodriguez told the state broadcaster that Venezuela is a peaceful country and not at war, but had been aggressed and attacked in the operation. She reiterated the Venezuelan authorities remain in charge of the country's affairs. Cuba has declared 2 days of mourning for its fallen personnel. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said India is closely watching the situation in Venezuela after a controversial U.S. military operation led the capture of President Nicolas Maduro in Caracas. Jaishankar expressed India's concern over the developments and urged all parties to seek a peaceful solution through dialogue, prioritizing the safety and well-being of the Venezuelan people. He added that the Indian embassy in Caracas remains in touch with the Indian community and will provide all possible assistance. Earlier, the Ministry of External Affairs had issued a safety advisory for Indian citizens amid the unfolding crisis.
I heard very strong and very effusive words of praise for the Indian community. We know when you hear that in a very natural way from your counterparts and from the authorities of the country you're visiting, it really leaves you with a very good feeling. I mean, the sense that in their eyes, this is a community which has been very well integrated. It is seen as very contributive. I think our sort of way of conducting ourselves, of really whether I suppose it's in the professional workplace or in terms of the community contributions that you make. In every sense, all I heard was repeated words of praise, and I thought, first of all, I must share that with you.
Let us move on to sports now. Union Sports Minister Mansukh Mandavia has announced that the Indian Super League will begin on February 14th, ending a 6-month impasse that had stalled Indian football. The league will feature all 14 clubs and be played on a home and away basis with 91 matches. AIFF President Kalyan Chobe said the I-League second division will also restart in a shortened format, while a new governing council board will oversee both leagues and take key commercial decisions.
आज सरकार, फुटबॉल फेडरेशन और सभी हमारी 14 क्लब फुटबॉल क्लब के प्रतिनिधि के साथ विस्तार से मीटिंग हुई है और हम सब लोगों ने साथ में मिलकर निर्णय करा है कि आईएसएल लीग 14 फरवरी सैटरडे से स्टार्ट होगी और सब भी हमारे क्लब उसमें पार्टिसिपेशन करेगी और देश में फुटबॉल प्रेमी और हमारे प्लेयर और फुटबॉल के साथ जुड़े हुए सभी के लिए खुशी का समाचार है। देश में फुटबॉल आगे बढ़े।
The International Cricket Council (ICC) has denied the Bangladesh Cricket Board's request to move their T20 World Cup 2026 matches out of India. The BCB had refused to travel, citing security concerns following protests over IPL player Mustafizur Rahman's release. The ICC said the BCB's concerns are unsubstantiated, noting that BCCI has assured full security for the team, but Bangladesh has yet to receive official confirmation. And a quick look at the weather report now. First, the weather report for Tura. The minimum temperature recorded was 11 degrees Celsius, the maximum 20 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity was 52%. Moving on to Shillong. Minimum temperature recorded was 6 degrees Celsius, the maximum 15 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity was 64%. Meanwhile, in Jowai, the minimum temperature recorded was 7 degrees Celsius, the maximum 15 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity was 45%. The forecast for Tura, Shillong and Jowai says dry weather is most likely. And another look at the headlines before we wind up. Meghalaya BJP flags trust deficit on illegal coal mining, backs ILP and rail connectivity. Meghalaya Asha workers to suspend services from January 8, statewide protest over pending incentives. Assam Chief Minister flags Bangladesh situation as serious concern, warns of jihadi presence, sleeper cells in Assam. "26 Naxalites surrender in Sukma under rehab drive, 65 lakh reward cadres lay down arms in Chhattisgarh." And Indian Super League to kick off on February 14. All 14 clubs return as AIFF clears league restart. Well, viewers, that's all we have in this edition of the Bulletin. Join us again tomorrow evening for more news and updates.